everyone, thank you for tuning into our videos. We've decided to make a best of video showing the best evidence we've caught so far from our journey to many of the locations that we've investigated. The past year's gone very quick, hasn't it, guys? We started over a year ago. We were sitting around at your house, Andy, having a few beers and
having in the garden.
And we decided, hey, let's give this a go and get into paranormal investigating. We've all had an interest in it.
Well, I was going to say, it was a passion we all had, but none of us knew each had the same passion.
Yeah.
It was until that day we all got together and said, you know what, something I like. Yeah. And it's like, well, I like that too. And it was a cool day.
Do you remember the first investigation we ever went to?
Guildford Cemetery.
Yeah, that, we were pretty, I'd say we were pretty green. And I think our wives were actually laughing about us going on that trip. I remember when we were in the car and Darren had his video camera set up, and it took me about 50 goes and I still couldn't wipe the smile off my face while we're talking, and you're cracking up in the background. And I just still, you said something to me the other day, Andy, about you remember how excited Darren and I were when we found that first piece of what we believe is evidence. So that video here we'll show you now. There were a lot of bugs that we caught, but this was definitely like a plasma energy that was moving up.
We reviewed this so many times, didn't we? We looked at it, we zoomed in on it, we tried everything we could possibly do to think, what else could this be?
Yeah.
And after looking at it and thinking, well, definitely wasn't a bug. What else could it be? Is it paranormal? We don't really know, but it's the kind of the strangest thing we've ever caught, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
But then we've also caught the same looking thing at a house investigation. Now, do you remember the house investigation we did?
Yeah.
And we had the camera set up in the main bedroom, and it came out from the side of the bed.
Near their walking road. Yeah.
Yeah, and it shot back towards the camera.
Yeah.
It looked very, very similar.
Very similar.
And the camera was set for hours on end, and we didn't even catch dust in that place. And we had that really, really strange plasma that we're thinking is what we call.
And we know what some people may be thinking, oh look, it's just a bug. But we've been doing this long enough now to definitely tell the difference, we believe. And we are the first ones to go, it's got to be a bug. We're the first ones to say that. But if there's something that we look at and we review and review and review, and it's just, it doesn't appear to us to be a bug, we will show it. Fairbridge Village, we caught that orb that was very, very different, and people, and orbs can be dust, they can be dust, and we do catch a lot of dust.
We do, we review it so many times, and 99.9% of them we put down as dust, or we can't quite tell, so we just rule it out, don't we?
But this orb, it travelled down the, it was the left-hand side while you're looking at the video, down the left-hand side there, and it was moving slowly. It was abnormal. Yeah,
it definitely seemed to give off its own light.
Yeah.
It was a lot brighter than any sort of thing we've caught before on that same camera. And one thing I liked about it, we had people say that it was probably, or could have been, some sort of reflection of light.
Yes.
Now, if it had been a reflection of light, just before it gets towards the camera, on that very far left is actually a window frame. And if it had been a reflection of light, it would have wrapped around that window frame itself, and it didn't, so you could quite easily see it was its own piece of thing, can we call it.
While we're talking about Fairbridge as well, I mean, that was a great investigation, but that orb was definitely something odd. But Andy, I know you'll be keen to talk about the Lisa and that you heard.
Fairbridge was my first full-on proper investigation where it really opened my eyes up, and taking a walk down to the little cemetery next to the church there, and hearing Lisa and the deep voice of a no, that got chills up my spine that day, I have to admit. And what you boys thought at the time.
No, it was good, wasn't it?
It was crazy. It was an intelligent response.
Yeah, you could hear it clear as day.
It wasn't, like, what's the chances, okay, people say spirit boxes, okay, it could be radio, etc. But what is the chances of myself asking an exact question and getting an exact response, clear as answer to that question, What is the chances of that coming through the radio? At that
And before then, we didn't have like the radio constantly going and after that,
radio was going for a while.
Yeah.
Walking around with it.
And then the Lisa. What is your name? Lisa. It's it was crazy. It was a crazy night.
More questions, isn't it?
Can you tell us your name? Lisa. Lisa.
Is it Lisa?
Lisa.
And that was over 2 stations then too.
Lisa. Lisa. Are you at peace?
No?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, no.
No? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Mm,
Are you at peace?
no?
And also at the same time, we caught that. Well, I think it was a female child's voice. Remember me and you were upstairs?
Yes, that's right.
And I think I distinctly
Remember you hearing
said I
something?
could hear something in my headphones at the time. We wasn't until we reviewed it days later, and it was definitely a female voice, a little child's voice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that was a good one. I really like that one.
My name's Andrew. With me is Darren. My name's Andrew. With me is Darren.
When we first started out, Darren and I went to the Midland Town Hall, and Patty runs the tours there at Midland Town Hall. She does a really good job. So we went along, we went on the tour, just to sort of learn a bit of the history and what goes on there. And we were lucky enough to investigate that place. One thing we learnt on the tour, is it Mr. Maguire, I think it is? McCarty or Maguire?
No, Mr. McCarty.
Who sat on that chair.
Chair.
So the story was told to us during the tour that he sits on this chair in this room, and a lot of times you go up there with a K2 meter and you measure electromagnetic energy while you're there, and that's something that's shown on the tour, which is really cool. So we set up our still cameras, and what was the chance that we get this white, it's not even an orb, I wouldn't even call it an orb.
No, that was again more like your plasma type.
Just this
isn't it?
white, misty sort of object goes from the chair diagonally straight up, shoots into the sky, into the ceiling. What is the chances of us catching something like that after hearing a story like that? You know, that was a crazy piece of evidence in my opinion.
Yeah, and we caught a bit of dust that night,
Yeah.
and we were able to straight away see what's dust and what wasn't, and almost everything was dust until we saw that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. To me personally, I think that's good evidence.
And then you had that voice as you're walking down those stairs.
It was quite chilly around those stairs. You go up to the main part where the clock is in the Midland Town Hall, and we were coming back down the stairs, and Darren was behind me, and I'm talking to him, and when we reviewed the footage afterwards, we hear this man groaning at us.
Yeah.
And it's just Darren and I there.
Yeah.
No one else is there. It's just a full-on, doesn't even sound like us. He's just groaning at us. That was pretty
But
cool.
it wasn't until afterwards we found out that there is actually a male spirit up there.
This down here, right here, mate, when I get to about here, and Patty, when she took us through before, was staying there, and Patty, when she took us through before, was staying there, and Patty, when she took us through before, was staying there are children on these stairs, but every time I come down these staircases, I get that. Yeah, so a lot of the evidence that we do capture, it's quite a tedious job. You know, we capture it after the fact a lot of the times,
A
don't
lot
we?
of times we do drive away thinking, oh, we've caught nothing.
Yeah, we do,
We've
don't
caught very little, and it's not until we review it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course.
There is something there,
Something
and
there.
it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's even better when the actual evidence caught, like for instance that orb or whatever you want to call that mist coming from the chair, backs up the claim of the story.
Yeah.
That to me, I love that because it sort of puts a bit of weight behind the story.
Yeah.
Well, leading on to that, was probably one of the better evidences we caught for a long time, was Freo Red House. When we had something happen to us, we didn't understand how that could happen, but then it wasn't until we asked someone later after the investigation that it made sense.
The footsteps in the cells, yeah. Swear I heard footsteps. I said it to Darren at the time.
No, I didn't hear it, did I, at the time?
I think you were sort of composing yourself in the corner with the camera. You had a bit of other things going on, and I swear, I remember saying to you, it's on our video, I hear footsteps. And we replayed it back, and sure enough, on my recorder, we got like boots walking on timber. Does that sound like footsteps then?
I didn't hear anything.
Does that sound like footsteps then?
I didn't hear anything.
Does that sound like footsteps then? Talking to the tour guide there, and she did actually show us a photo up the top there on the top story where there's the 3 windows when you go inside the roundhouse. There used to be doors on either side, and the guards used to walk on the roof either side looking down at the prisoners. So you think that would have been boots on timber.
Every day.
It's crazy.
Day in, day out.
Crazy. Residual energy catching it on our recorder.
Speaking of the roundhouse, what about the footage we captured of the door swing?
Oh, yeah.
And that was a still night.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, those doors are heavy as.
They're heavy. They're solid
Extremely
steel.
heavy.
You know,
And there was a door next to it, only what?
Didn't move at all.
3 metres
Yep.
away from it. That one didn't move.
And that was the room where we were. Didn't the REM pod go off there?
Yep.
That
We're
that
not.
room?
All the evidence happened in that one room.
it was a hot room.
Yeah.
I know when I did see the footage, I thought, and you said the same thing, guys, you know, people are going to think it's the wind. Well, look, we're not out to, if we thought it was the wind, we'd debunk it.
And we've had it before. Something's been caught, something's moved, we can't quite work out why that's moved, so it could possibly be something like wind, so we've just thrown it out. And we don't show that sort of stuff because it's been thrown out. The only stuff that we do show is stuff that we've
100%.
vigorously reviewed,
Right,
haven't we?
right,
And
yeah.
gone, well, look, hang
Yeah.
on, that's a bit unusual.
You can be confident if we've put it in our video and we've presented it to you on our page, we've gone over it 100 times to decide if we believe that is good evidence to put out there. I mean, look, of course, it's up to you guys to make your mind up, but rest assured it is genuine evidence that we capture. And that door was crazy. None of the other doors are moving. It wasn't windy. They're heavy doors.
The only time it happened that night.
One of the better evidences we caught at the Freo prison was that piano playing. How cool was that?
And that was an EVP.
Yeah.
We didn't hear it at the time. The guards are taking me to my cell. I'm in 31.
Drop past sometime. Drop past sometime. Drop past sometime.
And we did get a few comments saying that someone's ringtone, but hey, we can assure you that we don't have our phones on us, and our phones are turned off. So it was nobody's ringtone. If we did think it was that, we would have debunked it straight away.
Yeah, well, and even then, like, how stupid would we have to be investigating with a mobile phone on us? Like, really?
Yeah.
It also affects our EMF detectors.
It does.
We can't have other devices
It does.
around us.
And then for the phone to go off, and then you go, oh, we've caught evidence. I mean, that would be pretty silly. We'd stay home rather than investigate if we were going to do that. So the piano was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And you could even debunk the fact that someone went up to the piano and played it while we were investigating because it wasn't in the real footage.
No, and also they would have come past us because
To
we
do it.
believe it's the one that was in the church down below, probably 100 metres away from us. They would have physically had to walk past us
To do it.
get to the piano.
And the fact that it was an EVP, electronic voice phenomena, caught on my digital recorder, not heard with our own ears at the time, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I do like that piece of it.
I did.
liked
Was
it.
brilliant.
It was one of my top pieces.
Yeah, and it made my skin cool a little bit when I first heard it. It was really, really good.
One of the places I didn't get the privilege of investigating with you guys was the Swankview Tunnel. Tell us a few what you found there.
That was a pretty good night, wasn't it? It felt quiet at the time.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we walked away from that thinking we caught nothing, didn't we?
At the time we did. I mean, we went with Michelle.
Yeah.
She was good. We learned quite a bit off Michelle in
Yeah.
our time with her,
Yeah.
investigating. But we probably did, yeah. We went away and we thought, it wasn't until we reviewed.
Yeah.
When we started
There's
reviewing,
snippets that we caught.
we caught some pretty good EVPs, and I know one of them you're still a little bit
Yeah,
sceptical
well,
on.
in total, I think we caught 3 EVPs that night.
Yeah.
2 of them sound very, how would you put it, robotic type. But I don't understand how these EVPs work. So we definitely caught something that was quite strange. But there's one EVP we caught, and I believe it said something like "come closer." It
was pretty clear.
It was as clear as day. It's an EVP that's torn me to this day because it. Personally, I actually think it sounds like me. Now, it's not something that we would do.
No.
We would not sit there and...
No. I didn't hear you say it at the
No,
time.
no.
But it does sound like you.
It physically sounds like me. So, but then I've been doing a lot more research on this after we had this happen to us, and they are known as spirits that can mimic. So whether that's something that we call, I don't know. But at the time, didn't I was very torn, thinking maybe this was me. Maybe I didn't realise I said something, and we'd caught me saying that.
Well, we take this so seriously that we will even question ourselves, like you did. You were like, "Hey, was it me? Was it me?"
Yeah, for weeks.
And I said, "Darren, it wasn't you. Why would you say come closer? Why would you say that?" And the way it was said, it gives me chills when I think about it. And
then one of the best places we've been to so far?
Quarantine station.
Without a doubt.
Isolation.
Without a doubt. We're actually doing tours there now too. This is an opportunity to come along. Learn the history of the place, because this place has got
history.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
6 months ago, I didn't know about this place.
No.
Don't know at school.
So I reckon, out of all the locations we've been to, so far, best evidence, isn't it? Would you agree? The best evidence I think we've caught.
Yeah.
best as far as EVPs. They're out of this world. And we had everything. We had EVPs, we had personal experiences, we had feelings. Even you boys who aren't big on the feelings were getting feelings. It was a crazy night, definitely. What was your favourite piece there?
Well, it's funny. My favourite bit of evidence was originally the bit where me and Michelle were about to walk into the crematorium, and then we had the EVP that said, "We're in here." Was that talking?
No.
I thought I heard talking. Hi, we're back again. I thought I heard talking. I thought I heard talking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We only heard that about 2 weeks later when we finally got to the reviewing, and the hairs, right now, mate, the hair on my arm stood up.
Yeah, it's like that whisper, "We're in here."
Yeah, and it was really, really strange. But do you know what the best piece of evidence I think we caught there was the actual other EVP, where we are walking out of one of the, I think it was the North Wing, North Ward, and Ivan had a lot of experiences, a lot of personal things were happening to him that night in this one place. It's the first time ever I've seen you like that. And we had to leave. Ivan was a bit
I was watching you guys in the still cameras from outside, and we could easily tell from outside that something was up.
It was up. It was.
You weren't yourselves walking out.
Yep. We believe a spirit went right up to Ivan, and it was in his personal space, and it wouldn't leave. So we thought the best place to be is not in that location.
And was that the room where we all suffered little
Headaches.
headaches?
Yeah, we all had those headaches. And
Yeah.
Darren removed me because he said, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
That's right. I've never experienced that before in my life, and it actually scared me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be totally honest. I'll be that vulnerable and say, hey, it scared me. It did, because it was something that I've never experienced before.
But do you remember when we were doing the reviewing and you said, Darren, check these bangs and knocks out in that room?
Yeah.
You're saying, check this out.
We
We're
were
like, right,
hearing knocks,
we were all
yes.
sitting here, weren't we? We said, right, listen to these knocks and bangs. So we were reviewing it and I went, oh, Evan, there's actually a voice just before these knocks. And at the time he's like, no, it's just these knocks. That was it.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And I said, no, there's a voice here. And it wasn't until we played it 3 or 4 times, we went, hang on, this is actually a voice that is replying to your question.
Yeah. Well, there's a recorder going.
You're more than welcome to speak into that recorder when we're on.
Shit, I never felt that, mate. Yeah, did I look weird? Oh, God. Shit, I never felt that, mate. Yeah, did I look weird? Oh, God. Shit, I never felt that, mate. Yeah, did I look weird? Oh, God.
Wasn't
Crazy.
You said something
Yeah.
like,
I've never felt that before.
never felt that
I was
before.
very, and it goes, are you
Are you
serious?
serious? And even
Then I answer that as well.
Yeah,
I go,
yeah.
I've never felt.
yeah,
That's
it was just
crazy.
me
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best evidence we ever caught there, only because it was intelligent.
Yeah.
It was replying to your question, and I never heard it, and you must have heard it because you even replied back to it.
To it. I was talking.
I
I didn't
never heard
realise,
it.
thinking it was you.
Yeah.
Then we go back into the room to go, let's face it, we brought Michelle with us, and that whole night was a little bit off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then I say, are you a positive spirit? And we get an EVP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a positive spirit? Are you a positive spirit? Are you a positive spirit?
Alright guys, so unfortunately I couldn't go to the next location. I was playing footy.
Yeah.
But the Yan chip in. Tell us about it.
Good night though. You know what I loved about the best of that night?
Pub meal?
The second
Yeah,
best
the
thing.
pub meal was good.
The second best thing of that night was the storm, wasn't it?
Oh, it
Remember
set
that?
the scene.
Remember the lightning and the
Set the
thunder
scene.
of that night, and we thought electricity in the air. This is going to bring something on.
It did set the scene.
Yeah.
It did set the scene. We got some awesome footage from it.
Yeah.
And look, it ended up being a fairly quiet night, didn't it? We had a bit of activity. That EMF detector was just off the.
That one area.
It was
one
crazy,
area.
and there was no electricity there.
No.
There was no electricity there. I've never seen this go off so much in a location except the Midland Town Hall. The Midland Town Hall, it was going ballistic. And this is the first location we've been to where it's been doing the same sort of thing.
It's been a while.
So we have EMF detectors that measure the electromagnetic field in the air, and if we get a reading for no reason and it's not near a power source, we deem that as being abnormal. There's no real reason for
And if it had
it.
been from electrical storms, it would have been absolutely everywhere. So
Exactly.
it was just one little location, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we did find that little orb. Now, we're trying to be careful not to become the orb kings. Orbs are definitely, you can put it down to either dust or it's energy, you know. But we did have that orb shoot past the camera, and the camera slightly moved. That was,
Yeah, that's what I liked about that one.
yeah.
But going on orbs, yes, there are things as orbs, but orbs can actually just be energy, not so much spirits or spirit energy.
Yeah.
There is natural energy in the atmosphere or around the location. So that's what we try to keep away from orbs, because it's not a guarantee that an orb equals spirit.
One of the things I'm really enjoying about these videos we're creating and these investigations that we're doing is it's all about our historical places here in WA, and each place we go to, it's got a story to tell. It's its own story in its own right. And something you said to me the other day too, Darren, and it's so true. the more we seem to be doing this, the more we're finding that these places, they're all linked together in some way whatsoever. There's a link somehow. You go to a location and there's a story there that's told that has to do with a location that we may have already been to. Or it's just incredible, and that's one thing I know we're all enjoying, going to these places.
And we're learning ourselves, aren't we?
The history of WA.
Exactly, we learn ourselves. There's places that before we went, we didn't even know existed. And then we go to these places and go, oh my God, if we didn't know about these, other people need to know about it.
So that rounds out our first year of investigations. We hope you've enjoyed watching our videos. We've definitely enjoyed making them and investigating these places. We hope you'll stick around and check out the next locations we're going to. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all your support, and we'll catch you around in another historical location. See you later.
See ya.